Hey there, Wendy here with Jazzydoodledesigns, and we are going to finish up with part 2 of Mythographic Witchy Raccoons. So here I decided to add just a little bit of yellow to my moon. I'm using a light cream color. I just want it to be a really pale yellow. Just adding just a touch to the edge, not filling in the entire space. Next, we're going to move on to the bottle. And here I'm just adding the darkest shade just right in the little, right along the black line. This is going to be where I put my shadows. Just deepening it up. Kind of following along with the black lines the artist has drawn there. Under the rim and just along the curve. Next I'm going in with aquamarine and just blending it in right along that deep line and pulling it out into the lighter area. Then I'm going to follow up with my lightest shade, light aqua, and we'll just kind of smooth all of that out. This just gives those little ridges a little more depth. So how's everyone's day going? Are you excited for the weekend? Any big plans for St. Patrick's Day? This has never been a holiday that I've ever celebrated much. Not a big beer drinker, not a green beer drinker, so when the boys were little, of course we did, different things, but yeah, we don't have any plans. My goal with these books was to keep the majority of them more muted to where they just kind of disappeared into the background. So with every color, I go in and I put the main color down, then I go in with a darker color on the edges, and then I smooth it out into the middle, just to give it the illusion of being a little more rounded. But my idea was I wanted the books to tie in with the colors around, but also not be the main focal point of the page. Now, I'm not sure, but I think I would probably change those blue books that I did. To me, they seem very bright and kind of draw the eye away from the main character. So if I was to recolor this, I'm not sure that I would maybe use that. I think it was I'm not even going to attempt it, but that real bright blue color. I do always like tying colors back in other areas, so that was some of the color that I used in the sky and I use on the hat. But I don't know. Here I'm just using some French grays and filling in, the book, going in with some of the darker color once again along the back, adding in the shadows along the sides to add the contour. I apologize for the delay in getting this video out to you guys. I just really didn't have the mojo to get it going. I have suffered with depression my adult life, and there are times when it just kind of takes over, sometimes for a day, sometimes for several days. I've had it take over for months at a time. Luckily, that was not the case this time. I just had a couple of days. Is it because of the weather? Is it... I don't know why. Over the years, it comes and goes, and it doesn't really seem to matter if like things are good in my life or things are bad in my life. Obviously, when things are really stressful, that can bring about it as well. But right now I don't have any stresses, big stresses in my life. But I just get these days, and I've just learned to try and be easy on myself and let it run its course and support myself the best that I can. So I decided to make the How to Support Your Creator video, which I wish I wouldn't have done in retrospect now. My friend had really wanted me to do that video, and I thought it might be an easy video to do because it was so short. But my heart really wasn't in it, and I'm not very happy with how it turned out. I've even thought about taking it down and redoing it. But then you lose all the stats and, you know, all the people that have watched it and commented on it. That all goes away, and you can't apply it to the new video. So for now, I'm going to leave it. But I could really hear in my own voice. I even had to speed up my voice a little. And yeah, so I just put this project on hold, editing this last part of this video, and waited until I was in a little better frame of mind, which I am now. Okay, so back to the coloring stuff, the fun stuff. Basically, guys, I'm just going in and adding little bits of color to the little page marks and the frames and things like that. These could be done in any color. I tried to stick with kind of the French grays and the creams, the browns, in terms of the little, where the title would be and that kind of stuff. And then adding just a hint of the goldenrod there to just maybe make it look a little more sepia-like. Coming in with the French beige. Really like this color. I think it's a really good neutral. One of the things I really like about Prismacolor is I do feel like their color range is really good. So having bought several sets of colored pencils, I'm always surprised by what colors the brands choose to put in their sets and to leave out. Prismacolor has a couple of really nice colors like cream and sky blue light and what's the other one? Pale green light, green gray light, something like that. I really like some of these really light colors, and I find that a lot of brands don't offer, they don't have those real pale colors, which help you create your contrast. And maybe I just need to buy a pastel set so that I have a lot of the lighter colors that I can use. I am going to be doing a haul video coming up because, you know, if you're going to have a YouTube channel, this is what I tell my husband, I have to have the supplies to use for it. So, you know, I'm totally justified in all my purchases. These are business write-offs, right? Oh my gosh, it makes me laugh so hard. I had to create a channel just so I could buy more supplies. Because let's face it, guys, buying supplies, organizing them is half the fun. I mean, I love to color, but I also like to collect supplies. Like I said, I have a small Michaels store here in my office, so I'm always looking to add new things. But I did get some new products. I got some new coloring books, so I am going to do a video on that coming up. Hopefully that will be of interest to you guys. I'm always curious what other people bought and what they thought of it. So what I'm doing here is each of these little, what are they, diamonds? I am putting this dioxazine purple around the edge and then filling it in with whatever it is, blue, violet, light cerulean blue in the centers. So I'm just doing that to every single one of the diamonds, and I miss a bunch, and then so throughout the video I'm constantly going, oh, there's another one, and filling those in. So just once again, I picked those colors because that was what was in the sky, and that kind of unifies the page a little bit. Here I'm just adding a little, I don't know, texture, no, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a little contrast on the page here. Some stripes. I just thought that was kind of fun. Once again, just kind of blending things out. So have you guys made any big purchases lately? Anything in particular stand out? Anything that you recommend I should buy? Anything I should buy so that I can do a video on it for you guys? Let me know. Please enable me. Also, I'm still waiting to hear if I have any Canadian subscribers about the all-dressed chips. Nobody really commented on that or left me any snacky snack suggestions. So I still am looking for those things. I'm also going to be doing a video, I think for 500 subscribers, I'm going to do an introduction video where Ellie and I will be live on camera, not necessarily live, but you'll be able to see our faces and maybe see where I color and where I film, where Ellie lays next to me, her cute little bed, and maybe some behind the scenes. I was thinking that might be a nice video to do at 500 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so now. I would really love to see us grow to that point. We have about 300 plus subscribers now, so we're on our way, and I really appreciate all of you. I enjoy doing this, and I hope that you guys find value in it. But yeah, I was thinking that'd be a fun 500. And then my goal is to get a giveaway, like a big giveaway, for 1,000 subscribers. Maybe give away a couple of coloring books and a set of colored pencils, maybe a more pricey brand of pencil. I can't afford probably to get you guys luminance or anything like that, but maybe some polychromos, or I don't know. I'm really open as we grow. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. What brand would be a good prize for that? What coloring books would you want to be given away? Is there one in particular that pops out to you, or an artist in general that you would like to see? As I'm coloring this, my goal was to keep that little spot in the middle a lighter shade, and then filling out the rest of the bowl in the darker, in the actual black. I don't want it too white because I don't want it to look necessarily shiny, but I did want it to be a little lighter, and then I do go back with Posca and put some little pops of white on it when we're done. So once again, just kind of darkening the edges, smoothing it out, just bringing a little warmth to it, bringing a little curve to the edge. So here for this, I'm going in randomly with the Process Red. I'm going to be using 3 colors, the Process Red, Deco Pink, and it'll pop up here in a second what the other one is. Hot Pink, I believe, is the 3rd color. But basically, I'm just adding some dark areas, some light areas, and then blending it out with the 3rd area. But I'm doing all of the, I don't know what it is, whatever shooting out of the magic wand, I decided I wanted to do in this bright pink. Just tying in the pink bottles. Plus, I just thought it'd be fun. When I first looked at this page, I feel like everybody always does kind of the same, like the cauldron of smoke needs to be green, and you know, the witch's hat should be maybe purple. There should be oranges, you know, the very traditional kind of Halloween type of colors. And I just wanted to do something totally different. So once again, I did tend to do the darker colors like where there was a bend in the, let's call it smoke. So as you can see, kind of the inside and outside curves, and then the lightest spot would be, you know, right at the kind of where the light would hit. But you don't have to be exact with this. And I apologize, I just saw an error. I was using Hot Pink and it said I was using Process Red. It's hard when you're editing these. Sometimes you make mistakes. So if something doesn't look right, just use your judgment. But as far as I can tell, it was just that one really brief clip. So I don't think it caused any major damage. But once again, I kind of use that medium tone and the lighter tones to kind of blend it out a little bit. Just so that they kind of flow into each other and you don't have real stark lines of where the dark and the light meet. This part right here I did speed up, so you're probably thinking, I'm sure you figured it out because nobody colors this fast, but I just feel like it's all the same coloring, it's just in different areas on the page. So this way you can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing and then just, you know, do it on your page. You don't necessarily need to see me literally do it in real time. However, if you prefer that, just go into the settings and you can drop it all the way down to like, I think it's 0.5 or 0.75. So you can slow it down considerably if you prefer that. I've been known to do that when I've done a few color alongs with other artists. I will slow them down so I can actually color more like in real time, because even though we might color at the same speed, you have to stop and find the pencil, whereas I already have it in my hand due to editing. So there's always going to be, you know, it's always going to be a little faster for the artist. So feel free to slow that down if you prefer to do that. Some people I know like to just watch and see what I do, then hit pause and do it themselves. Some watch the whole tutorial and then color the whole page on their own. So we all have different ways of doing it, and I usually use a combination of both when I'm doing other artists color alongs. With the glass, basically I just added a little bit of the blue to give the illusion that there was some color in that glass. But for the most part, I keep it all pretty transparent. And then I'm going to go in with the Posca and add the white. Here I'm just coloring in the little bands that hold the scrolls, concentrating the dark color on the edges and then keeping the middle lighter. I wasn't really sure what to do with these moonstones. I'm not sure I like how they turned out, but in the end, that's what we ended up with. So you know, when I make comments like that, sometimes people say, oh, don't be so hard on yourself, you know. It's not me I'm not trying to be hard on myself when I make observations about my art. I'm always looking to improve. And so every picture I do, whether it's this one, whether it's one I love, whether it's one that I'm not that keen on how it turned out, I would say this is, for me, a middle of the road picture. I'm not thrilled with how it turned out. I'm not disappointed by how it turned out. There are parts of this that I like very much. There are other parts that I'm like, yeah, maybe I wish I would have done something a little different. Like maybe one thought I have is maybe making the books all more similar in color. Like do them all in various shades of tans, grays, and browns. I wonder how that would turn out. Or maybe do them all in blues would be another way. But when I make these observations, they are just me trying to be real with myself about what do I like about this picture? What do I not like about it? Why do I not like it? So that when I make coloring choices in the future, I can kind of keep those things that I've learned, and I can make better choices in the next one. So to me, this is different than the person that looks at their art and says, I'm not good enough. My pictures aren't as good as what I see on this Facebook group. To me, that's a different critique, because that is not helpful. That is just you comparing yourself. That's like me saying, oh, I'm never going to color, or I'm never going to swim because Greg Louganis, wait a minute, is it Greg? No, Michael Phelps. Like totally making stuff. Maybe Greg Louganis is a diver. I think so. Anyway, if I were to say, well, gosh, I can never swim because there's no way I can swim as fast as Michael Phelps. Well, you would look at me like I was an idiot, right? But we do this to ourselves with our coloring. We look at people that literally color for a living, or that spend hours a day, or have taken art classes, or maybe they just have innate talent. But we compare ourselves to them and we get disappointed in our results. And I feel like that's not helpful. But I do feel like it is helpful if you honestly appraise your artwork and you look at your work as well as other people's work. Look at the pictures that really stand out to you. When you're looking and you're scrolling through and there's that one that just jumps off the page and you're like, wow. Ask yourself honestly, what is it that I really like about this picture? Why do I like it? Is it the colors? Is it the contrast? Is it what? Like, because when you can define what you like about something and what you don't like about it, and be honest and critique it, whether it's yours or someone else's, in your mind, then you can start working on learning how to do that or not do that in your own artwork, and your art can improve. So when I make these comments about my pages, like the blue books or the moonstones or whatever, this is my way of just honestly appraising my work and saying, okay, that worked. We can do that again. How did I do that? What was it about it that works? Like, I love how the blue looks on this hat. I like the color scheme. I like the contrast. I feel like I really like it. I really like the green bottle. I really like the sky. The teal smoke, it's missing something. There isn't enough contrast in it. I feel like it probably needs more light colors, like white, in it to make it really work. So that's just my 2 cents. And that is something that I do on every video that I make, every page that I color, and then I move on. So, like when I did my finished pages, the same was there too. There are pages that I really like, and then there are pages that I'm like, I don't really like how this turned out. And I can learn from those pages. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm totally off base on this. Do you feel the same way? Do you do this? Do you look at your artwork critically? And by critically, I don't mean harshly. I don't mean holding yourself to a standard you're not ready to achieve. You should only be comparing your artwork to your artwork. So looking at, did I improve my coloring skills from the last one? I would encourage you to keep all of your colorings so that you can look back occasionally and see the progress that you make. So for example, I know a lot of people that would have stopped at this point in their coloring, and they've put their dark down, they put their light down, and they put their medium. I like to take it to this next level and basically repeat the entire process. I feel like it creates a much more finished look. Many times I see in Facebook groups beginners that say, oh, my artwork doesn't look as good as the art that I see posted in this group. And I look at their picture and they've actually made really good color choices. They have a nice palette. They've went in and they've done their, the dark, the medium, the light. They added some contrast. But they stop where, after the first application of those colors. Whereas sometimes I go in and I'll add a second layer of the three colors, and sometimes even a third layer of the three colors, depending on the paper, the color. But when you stop too soon, it leaves that little bit of a grainy look to your paper, and I just think it makes all the difference. If you rewind to a couple of minutes ago and look at the hat band and then fast forward to now, I think you'll notice the difference. So if you're unhappy with your artwork or you feel like it still looks grainy, my suggestion to you would be do it again. Do another layer of those colors. The two biggest things that make a difference on your page is, one, keep going. The tip I just gave. The second is add contrast. So what makes that sky work is I've got that really deep purple, and then it goes all the way out to a blue color. If I had taken that purple all the way across and then just had the yellow moon, you would have contrast with it being purple and yellow, but it wouldn't have the same effect. This is, now once again, this is kind of personal choice. There are some that might look at this and say, that looks ridiculous, and maybe they would have used a purple there. I'm okay with that. What makes the hat band stand out is the really deep shadows and then the highlight of light. I think that's, one of the things that's lacking in this bookcase is I think I could take my own advice with this picture as I look at it as we finish up here, and I could add more contrast in those books, deepening the edges of the books, so that there is, more light and dark in each of the books. Now I add the Posca pen to each one of those little diamonds and watch how they kind of pop off the page as soon as I do. They just, it just makes, in my opinion, a big difference in the page. I add the little shine to the bottles. I think that makes a difference. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to put the white on the moon. I'm not 100% loving how it turned out because I probably should have done this prior to coloring all of that, but I do like it, and I will play with that again in the future. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.